Coming to you live from the one and only Rinks in Oppog. I'm too low. I think I'm too low. I think I'm a little too low, yeah. Oh, it's limiter. That's what it is. Coming to you live from the Rinks in Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan and the one and only Panasonic Paul on the cam here tonight, taking you through a 3-game set. Bit of a later start than anticipated, but here we are ready to go. Warm-ups set to end in a matter of seconds. We got KPC and St. Anne's of the freshman division to get you started on this Friday evening. A battle of teams with very similar records. St. Anthony come into the contest with a 3-2-1 record, or 3-1-2 record. KPC are 3-2-1. I mentioned very similar. As I take a look at the standings in the freshman division, it is St. Anthony currently in third place. Like I mentioned, 3-1-2, 8 points on the year. All of their wins and losses coming by way of regulation, but again, those 2 ties. KPC, meanwhile, 5th place. 3 wins, 2 losses, and a tie. All of their wins and losses coming by way of regulation. Now, we dive in deeper into KPC. Coming off a 4-3 loss to West Islip. West Islip currently sitting 3-3 in 9th place. And a 3-3 tie to East Islip. East Islip currently sit in the freshman standings in first place at a record of 3 wins, 0 losses, 2 ties, that being one of the ties. The Friars, meanwhile, coming off a 5-2 victory against Sachem. They had an empty netter. It was 4-2. 2-2 going into the third period. And they had a forfeit loss last Saturday Saturday, October 25th to West Islip, and are responsible for East Islip's other tie. That was a 2-2 tie to the Friars on Saturday, October 18th. So they just played Sachem 4 days ago. Solid 5-2 win. Trying to make it 2 in a row. Trying to get back in the win column as well, KPC. Now leading the way for the Knights of Kings Park Commack, Brody Allstat has been an all-star to start this year. 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points in 5 games played for Allstat. Austin Tizzolo also with 9 points, second on the team, separating themselves. For the Friars, some players to keep an eye on here tonight. Aiden Colmar on the back end, 5 games played, 7 goals, 3 assists, 10 points. And Logan McCauley has 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in the 4 games played that he has, as we are underway here in the first period. Friars and Knights in the freshman division. Starting goaltenders tonight, Leo Bonawant, as a shot comes through and is gloved down. And that is Joseph Schwartz getting the start in net for the Knights. Schwartz typically plays defense and forward, can play forward as well for KPC. He's between the pipes in an emergency situation and makes an opening good glove save there. Seems he brings some experience to the table in between the pipes. See how he fares against the Friars as they look to get one out on the board early. Flies through the crease. Moving back down. There's McCauley. Shot and a save made by Schwartz. KPC can't clear. It's on the stick of Nooner. Nooner centers for Menino. Puck available in the slot. And cleared out by Schwartz. 0-0 Schwartz there. That's, Colin Skinner, not Schwartz. Meanwhile, McCauley walks, fires, save made. Joseph Schwartz Excellent stop made by the KPC netminder. Knights try to clear, they can't. Thrown back on towards Schwartz, and it goes through the crease and wide to the opposite blue line. Long wrister by Menino finds its way into the glove of Joseph Schwartz, and he is content to hold on to it. .13:34 left here in the first period. Face off to the left of Schwartz, won by the Friars. Shot towards Schwartz, wide. Try to clear it up the far wall. It's Austin Tizzolo trying to get on it and clear. However, they cannot, the Friars. Now, with a delayed penalty, we'll get the first power play of the game as well. They've had the puck in the KPC zone for large swaths of this game and are rewarded now with a power play. Not how you want to start the game for KPC. I mentioned at the top, the great play of Allstat. He's in the lineup, number 50 here tonight. But a power play for the designated road team. A save made by Schwartz. And the puck cleared. Kalmar to get it. Watched by Cohen. Ships it around to the far corner. And skating it free for the Friars, Cooper Ferrara. Pardon me, that is not Ferrara. That is Landon Ivazaj. Puck worked across to the opposite corner and backhanded wide. Lucas Hoffman with the opportunity. Back behind, Joey Schwartz put out in front, save, rebound, score. The Friars get on the board first on the power play. They lead it 1-0. Initially fanning on it, but staying with it. It was Street who got the penalty for slashing. And it looks like they're going to credit the goal to Landon Ivazaj, though I thought it appeared to be 73 for the Friars, which would be Antonino Borison. One nothing St. A's. KPC needing a response. Had the puck for an offensive zone faceoff. Quickly cleared out. Solis goes across. Here's Satera. And a nice poke check by Trainer breaks up that shot attempt. Skinner trying to get over there. Push towards Schwartz and wide. Picked up behind the net by KPC. And they'll clear. Here is Allstat. And they're offsides. Late whistle. Allstat already fired a shot toward Bonawant, who made the save. Bonawant has been switching his goaltending duties with Brody Morbillo. Morbillo not on the bench tonight, so it'll be Bonawant from start to finish. And now Skinner is going to get another penalty here. Well, wait to see what that's about. Puck officially, pardon me, the puck. The goal credited is to Landon Ivazaj, his second of the season. And getting an assist was Borison. Borison, his first assist, third point of the year. Friars back to the power play that has already yielded them their opening goal of the night. McCauley spins away from one, sweeps it back for Kalmar, walks in, fires, and scores. Aiden Kalmar gripped it and ripped it. Glove side past Schwartz. And it's 2-0 Friars. You see a great setup on the pass here. Screen set up in front. Kalmar just firing it by Schwartz. And for Aiden Kalmar, his 8th of the year. Number 49, not sure what's going on in the scorers table. That was 49, not 48. They credit the goal to Menino. Tizano the assist, 85. I think that's correct. Friars looking for more. Save made by Schwartz. Kalmar keeps on the left point. Kalmar back down the wall. Centered pass and good stick. Break it up that time by KPC's Stella Bacard. Friars break out with McCauley. McCauley in on Bacard. McCauley around Bacard, around the net. Striga now on the other side. Still it is McCauley. Now down low for Nooner. Out in front, poked away, back on for Kalmar. Wrist shot, hit a body in front. It was Nooner. Nooner has the puck. Sends it back to Kalmar. All Friars, and that continues. Shot off the stick of Cohen. Kept alive by Nooner. Good pass. Now out in front for a backhand try, and a save made by Schwartz, but the rebound found its way through. It's another goal for the Friars. 3-0 early here in the first period. Not even 5 minutes through. And the Friars lead by 3. And that's number 90, Reggie Henry, who gets the goal, assisted, I'm going to say, yeah, by 94, Jake Evans. And for Jake Evans, his second assist of the year to go along with a goal, 2 points now. And for Henry, his third goal of the season. First even strength goal scored by the Friars. They lead 3-0. Schwartz has it stolen from behind. A nice play made by Ivizaj. Ivizaj down the wall, sends it across a little bit behind Satera. Pardon me, that's Hoffman, Lucas Hoffman, 51. Or 50, not 51. Puck worked up the near wall, not out. Ryan Schwartz could not clear. Fired again along the near wall, and it does get all the way down. And it'll be an icing against KPC. This is not the start you want. Especially not when you have your usual goaltender in between the pipes. And Joseph Schwartz has done, I'd say, as good a job as you could have asked for to this point. For a defensive forward playing goal, a chance here for the Friars. Kicked free to McCauley. Wrist shot, blocker save made Schwartz. Picked up and attempted to be cleared, but no dice there for Bacard. Bacard again up the right wing boards. Nothing doing. Striga reverses and on it for the Friars in the corner. Menino fired one across. Nobody home. McCauley keeps in. Play has been tilted to this side of the ice. McCauley down the wall. Return pass. Wrist shot. Save made with the blocker. Rebound. And getting across with Schwartz. And now a stoppage and a cover from Joey Schwartz. 8:10 to go first period. 3-0 St. Anthony. Ensuing face-off to the left of Schwartz. Finally poked free, and now an odd-man rush opportunity. Skinner, 2-on-0. Skinner to the forehand, scores! The first real opportunity of the game for KPC. They bury it, and it's 3-1. Breakaway goal scored by Skinner, Colin Skinner, his fourth goal of the year in what is his fifth game. Can the Knights build momentum on it, or will the Friars stomp it out? Again, They had done such a good job in this game of creating chances. Here's Neuner, far circle shot deflected off a defender's stick and over the net and head of Schwartz. Kalmar walks. Kalmar shoots through traffic save. Rebound, score. Friars get it right back in quick fashion. Tapped in front of the net. Looked like it was Neuner who will get that goal. And it is Neuner from Kalmar. And so for Nicholas Neuner, his third of the year, puts the Friars ahead by 3 once more. It's 4-1 as we reach the halfway mark of the first period. What a pass! Springs Henry. Henry to the forehand, shut down by Schwartz. What a pass that sprung Reggie Henry. Now Allstat lost a handle, picks it back up in the neutral zone. Down the left wing side. Closed off, and a good defensive play made that time by Menino. That is Ivizaj. Meanwhile, another shot and score! Friars, 5th of the night, 5th of the period. Showing no signs of slowing down. And down the left wing side, cutting on in, Nick Neuner. A pass across that hit a body in front and cleaned up in front of the net. For Henry's second here tonight. There's a cover there from Schwartz, so Henry up to 4 on the year now. Neuner, the assist, has a goal and an assist in the little over the last minute plus. Neuner collecting both of those points. KPC trying to clear. However, it's taken back over by the Friars. Ivizaj down the wall and in deep. Striga to the line. Menino cuts it off, kicks it ahead. Only Knights are there, and they attempt to clear. On for Skinner. Skinner to the backhand, trying to go to the forehead, trying to get around McCauley. Eventually does. Centers one for Tizzolo. Tizzolo, Austin, his shot blocked in a couple of Friars skates, and now it's sent across by McCauley. Past Picard. Picard hustling back. On the backhand, it was Borison. Borison to Ivizaj, shot wide. Skinner with it. Left wing boards for Tizzolo. Tizzolo trying to catch back up with it. And McCauley takes over. Now to Ivizaj. Ivizaj heads toward his bench before turning around, sending it across. Onto the stick of McCauley. The Friars lead by 4. It's 5-1. 5:27 to go here in the first period. Pass too far ahead of Solis will be an icing against St. Anthony. Faceoff comes back down to the left of Bonawant. Cohen to take the draw for KPC against Solis, and Solis wins it. Solis, lead pass ahead. Gathered in along the left wing side by Roush. Todd Roush played for KPC's developmental team. For now making the jump and switch on over to the Friars. Here's Solis. Moves in, Solis trying to get around Trainer, and Trainer got the best of him there. To the line, not out, deflected just wide. That was Roush set up in front. Kalmar centers. Nobody home now. Cohen has time and space in the neutral zone. Will try to knife his way ahead. He will. Cohen near circle. Sharp angle centering pass, and Rescue unable to get a stick on it. And now the Friars can move out. It's Roush. Left wing side. Moves in 1-on-3. Takes a shot, blocked. And skated up the near side by Waterman. Comes back to Roush. Drops for Kalmar. Wrist shot Kalmar. Gloved by Schwartz, and he dropped it. It's underneath him somewhere and not over the line, so no goal. And both teams make full sail changes. 3:49 to go here in period number 1. It's the Friars with 5, KPC 1. Bacard trying to clear it out of the zone. Taken back by the Friars to the blue line. Nice move to Zano. Zano walks, fires, and a stoppage. And I assume penalty against St. Anthony, bringing the play to a halt. That or the net got off, and I don't think the net got knocked off. No, Fryer is going to the box, and it's Nooner. So KPC will get their first turn on the power play here tonight. Trailing by 4. It's Nooner off for a high stick. Friars win the draw. It's miraculously held in, but with speed, shot scores! Short-handed goal in a beauty. Scored by Jake Evans. Got around the defender, and he's going to beat Schwartz short side. Right over the shoulder. A beautiful goal scored by Evans, his second tonight. Or rather, his second point tonight, his first goal, his second of the year for Evans. Comes short-handed now. Bacard lets one fly toward Bonawant, who's there to seal it off and make the save. Minute 22 left of power play time. And 2:52 left in the first period. It is 6-1 St. Anthony. Friars trying to clear the zone. Allstat has something to say about it, but he can't prevent the eventual clearing. Ivizaj gives Waterman a bump, and now Borison along the near side taps into the KPC zone, banked ahead by Waterman. That's Allstat off the stick of Ivizaj, back onto the stick of Allstat. He walks into the zone. Along the left wing side, he'll cut across and behind the net. Backhands went out in front, tapped that one-timer from Rescue, denied by Bonawant, and now cleared by the Friars. 30 seconds on the penalty to Nooner. High sticking was that call. Allstat chasing after it. He and Kalmar come together, pushed out in front, on for Schwartz, tapped along, save made, Bonawant, and he's got it underneath him. Excellent save made by the Friar goaltender there. Keeps St. Anthony ahead by 5. They win the ensuing faceoff to the right of Bonawant. Cohen closing off along the near wall, the near boards, and all the way down. Schwartz stops it and has no intentions to play it any further. Face-off coming in the offensive zone for St. Anthony with a minute and 26 seconds remaining in the first period. It's all Friars so far. 6 first period goals. Waterman moves in right wing side, takes a wrist shot wide. Cohen off the ricochet. Backhand flip around behind Bonawant. And backhand to the neutral zone by Solis. Played back in by KPC. Here's Tizano. Tizano around Skinner. Reverses course. Back behind the net. Battling a couple of forechecking Knights. Once again spins away from Skinner and Allstat. And played around the other side by Galloway. Intercepted and neutralized by Waterman. Makes a nice move to get by a couple of Friars. Takes the wrist shot high over the net. Solis navigates around Cohen. And he'll start the rush ahead. And an offside called against the Friars. 25 seconds left here in the first period. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Panasonic Paul Trentini. Solis wins the draw, hands back for Tizano. Now a loose puck picked up by Galloway. Galloway overskates. Gets back on it, hounded in the corner by Bacard. And Bacard took it away from Galloway. Tried to get it to Allstat, who was looking for an odd man rush going the other way. Allstat has it as the first period comes to a close. And what a period it was for the Friars. 6 goals. And they lead it 6-1 at the end of one. You're listening again to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan and Paul Trentini and company will be back for the second period in just a moment. Stay with us on LI Sports Network.
New R&R coming out? Yeah, it should actually be released now. Wally said he's going to have it up by 6:30. I'll let the people know. I'm plugging the pod. With the guest. Jake Temkin, the former Farmingdale legend. He worked with that last year, he did 2 years ago. Former Farmingdale goalie Jake Temkin. Temkin. Yeah, I got it. Temkin, 2 touch. Temkin, 2 touch. It was very fun.
Welcome back to the Rinks and Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. 6-1 Friars at the end of one. They dominated that first period, dominated zone time, and asserted their fortitude in that first period. Really an impressive one for St. A's. Look to keep it going here in the second. Want to remind you all that the latest episode of Rinks and Realities, a podcast hosted by a couple of my friends, Travis Quigley and Paul Trentini, produced by Wally Mitchell. So it's really a 3-pack there. And their special guest this week was former Farmingdale goaltender, Mr. Temkin, as he talked about his experiences as the goaltender for Farmingdale and much, much more. Rinks and Realities right here on LI Sports Network. Turnover chance. Allstat missed high and wide. Now aggressive on the forecheck is Nooner. Takes it away. Nooner cuts to the backhand around Striga, but Striga and Bacard got the last laugh. They prevail and look to move it out. Bacard fights off a check provided by Roush and cuts in. Do the Knights, good passing. Cohen off the centering feed from Allstat. Couldn't get a shot toward Bonawant, though. And the Friars move out with speed. It's Nooner. Nooner fighting off a couple of stick checks from Striga. Keeps the forecheck moving. Plays it around for McCauley. McCauley fighting off Picard. Pitch it around to Roush. Roush, Striga, and Cohen together in the near corner. Puck comes free to Henry. Henry centers, looking for Menino. And a good job by the Knights to cut it free as Cohen initiates the breakout. Ahead now for Allstat. Allstat, right wing side, far circle. Puts one towards the middle, off the skate of Menino. And now a shot from Picard, fought off by Bonawant. Going across with that pass was Allstat. Could not find Picard. And now the Friars skated out of the zone. McCauley with Nooner. Played back. Roush was the trailer. And a couple of Knights overskated the puck, gave Roush a chance, and now the puck's still in the zone. Borison centers Nooner. And now the puck settles in the neutral zone. Two and a half minutes gone by here in the second period. Fires up by 5. Picard, D-to-D pass to Waterman. Waterman deflected along by Skinner. Into the O-zone. It's Tizano first on it. Tizano fighting off forechecking Resicue. It's ahead to Evans. Evans, 2 points tonight. Centers across, shot by Borison, denied by Schwartz. Excellent save there by Joey Schwartz. And now Skinner the other way. Backhander flip. And it's sealed off and covered by Bonawant. Stops the clock with 11 minutes, 52 seconds remaining here in the second period. Already a better start to this period than the prior one for KPC. Carbit to take the draw. Tizzolo to his left. Ryan Schwartz to his right. Tizzolo shoots wide. Off the face-off win by Carbit. And now here come the Friars. McCauley, lead pass for Hoffman. Hoffman plunges ahead, but Waterman stays on his feet, can play it further. Turned it over, though, and here's now McCauley. Logan McCauley, a little backhander wide. Trainer on it for KPC, and Trainer spins his way out of a few forechecking Friars. And now off the wall to himself, and away comes Trainer to Tizzolo. Austin Tizzolo backhands it to the high slot. Nobody there for KPC, and away come the Friars. Satara grips, rips into the catching glove of Joseph Schwartz. As we're exactly 4 minutes through here in the second. By this time in the first, the Friars already had a pair of goals up on the board. Face-off one, there's Menino, shot, save, rebound covered by Schwartz. And that's something we've noticed, or I've noticed. You know, we, me, myself, and I, is that Schwartz has made the first save on most occasions. It's been the rebounds that he struggled with, and again, no, can't be too critical of the KPC netminder, as he is typically a forward for this team. The typical goaltender Carson Asturo has played in 3 games this year and allows 3.69 as the Friars score again. A beautiful goal. Scored by Aiden Kalmar, his second of the game. I don't care what the stats say. It would be his 10th of the year, or 9th rather, of the year. as he's just gonna blast this through Schwartz. 7-1 St. A's. A little over 10 minutes left here in the second. Kalmar, it appears, unassisted. Cohen taken away by the Friars. Here's Nooner. Tries to chip it around Striga. Good job by Striga to hold his own. Neutral zone passing into the skates of Skinner. Now recollected by Allstat. Allstat moves in, takes a shot through a trio of Friars, and a rebound opportunity from a sharp angle. Save made. Bonawat rebound cleared away from the front of the net by the Friar defense, and now Nooner has it stolen away by Striga, but good support provided by Menino. And now a delayed penalty against the Friars as Bacard got it ahead for Allstat. Kalmar will touch up. KPC to their second power play of the night. As Menino goes off, get the official call into the system in just a moment. It's for roughing. .9:22 left here in the first frame. Shot off the draw, save, rebound, they score! Ryan Schwartz, backdoor. And KPC have their second goal here tonight. It's a 5-goal lead for the Friars once more. And it comes right off the draw. Quick shot, and there's Schwartz. Johnny on the spot into an open net. No chance for Bonawat. Resicue and Carbett gonna get the assists on the Schwartz goal. His first of the season for Ryan Schwartz. McCauley looking to respond, he does! Through the wickets of goaltender Joey Schwartz. And it's 8-2 Friars. Not sure if it deflected or not. But the Friars back on top by 6 on a goal from Jake Evans. His second tonight, and I believe his third point overall. 2 goals and an assist here, yes, for Jake Evans. 3-point night for Evans, number 94, who is just making his second appearance this year for St. Anthony. Tizano down the wall. Bacard takes it away, can't clear, held in by Evans. Evans drags around Bacard, sends it across, and it hit the skate of Striga. Kalmar moves in. Aiden Kalmar taken away, and Kalmar and Bacard collide. 2-on-2 battle now into the far boards. Cohen chips it ahead, and Skinner lead pass to Zolo. And Zolo content to just dump in. Skinner, Cohen, they go for a change. It's Allstat aggressive on the forecheck here for KPC. Friars survive for the moment. Now Striga pass tipped by Ivizaj, or tip to Ivizaj, who moves in, takes a shot off the glove of Schwartz. Back for Tizano. Dodges a hit from Schwartz. Shot save made by Joey Schwartz. McCauley now. Allstat bearing down on him. And Allstat takes it away. Great play there by Brody Allstat, the leading scorer for KPC. Puts one in the middle. Too far for Bacard. And now Ivizaj. Backhand in, Waterman after it. joined by Solis of St. Anthony. Allstat to himself has Ryan Schwartz, who takes over. Fresh off his first goal of the year, Schwartz gets ran into by Tizzano. And Tizzano's going to get called for the penalty there. Interference, I assume. So another power play opportunity for KPC. They just scored on a power play. That was prior to the second goal of the night, scored by Evans. McCauley getting an assist on the goal. So power play KPC underway, steered into the near corner by Bonawant. Here's Cohen to Waterman. Waterman tried a little finesse pass back to Cohen. It's intercepted and cleared by Roush. Off the stick of Trainer. Trainer backhands ahead for Skinner. Skinner to Cohen. Cohen stripped of the puck from behind by Solis, who kicks it to Galloway. Galloway left it behind for Skinner to take it right back. Skinner finds Trainer. Trainer, wrist shot, glove save, Bonawant. And a good one at that. Minute 14 left on the power play for KPC. 5:43 left here in the second. I want to encourage you to, if you haven't already, follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. Tons of great stuff happening on there. Producer of Rinks and Realities and a lot of our social media content, Wally Mitchell, has been cooking up something else special for you. We rolled it out a couple nights ago in between periods. Little thing last week's best. Expect to see that on the socials as well if we haven't already. High in the sky, puck drops down. Waterman did not know where it was. He finds it and spears it onward onto the stick of Kalmar, who is perfectly fine just clearing it all the way down. Lead pass to Zolo, try to hit Allstat, just out of his reach, no icing. Kalmar, he completely fooled Allstat, but then took himself down. Fires it around to the line, poked at by Roush, or pardon me, it was not Roush, just Tizzano. Wrist shot, just missed. That was Henry. Now Tizzano with it. Just 2 seconds left on the power play for KPC. And that power play comes to an end. Tizzano. Kalmar. There's a slot pass to Henry. Doesn't hit him. Now Henry in the near corner. Trying to get around Waterman. He does. Puck got a little ahead of him. Trainer fires out of the zone. That puck all the way down will be an icing against the Knights of KPC with exactly 11 minutes gone by, 4 to go here in the second period. And the Friars up big. Face off to the right of Joey Schwartz. Won and carried out by Skinner. Skinner toward the middle, intercepted. Just trying to get that pass in the direction of Ryan Schwartz. Picard steps up on it. Fighting Solis for the puck there, but will get called for the offside. Schwartz forward with the draw. Solis around Cohen. Solis backhands ahead. Nudged on by Menino to Evans. Evans saucered across. Picard there to intercept. And now banked ahead for a foot race. Cohen and Solis. Cohen, first circle rip, denied by Bonawant. And Bonawant's got it underneath. Doesn't play it on any further. 3:20 left here in the middle period. It's the Friars by 6. The season high they had in terms of goals was against Middle Country. They had 10 back on October the 10th. They have 8 with a little over 3 minutes to go here in the second. So a good chance to match that season high total here tonight. KPC, of course, want to prevent that from happening. Picard makes a stand at the line, backhanded in, and touched by Cohen in the offside position. Roush will take the draw from Carbett. Won by Roush and the Friars. Borison. Nice pass to Roush. Roush shot denied by Schwartz. Shuffled around, Resicue and Borison. Borison backhands along, bouncing puck settled by Ivizaj. Ivizaj a wrister wide of the net. Borison and Picard come together in the near corner. Comes out to Ivizaj, another shot wide. Picard back on it. Stella initially fanned on the pass, then got it across, and then it truly was fanned on by Carbett. So the puck stays deep. Banked for Borison and now sent out of the zone by Carbett all the way down. It'll be an icing against KPC. With just under 2 minutes to go here in the second period. And you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Both of these teams looking to get their 4th win of the year. It's St. A's in the driver's seat, ahead by half a dozen. Here's Evans. And he's been flying tonight. Henry fighting off the check of Cohen. Down to Evans. Evans protecting the puck on the backhand. Sends it up the wall to Tizzano. Tizzano checked by Ryan Schwartz. Comes away with it. Tizzano, nice move. Tizzano across. Tap in goal was there, but not to be had by Nooner. Puck in the proximity of 3 Friars. Finally handled by Henry. Hoffman. A cross. That would look like a cross in soccer there from Henry, as Nooner was set up in front of the net. Couldn't get the redirect towards Schwartz, and now KPC finally clear. Given away by Tizzano. Cohen. And stepping on over, making a good defensive play, was Evans. Waterman over the line and backhands in, taken over by Tizzano. Tizzano around 1, Tizzano around 2, right wing side. Here comes Tizzano to the circle. Nice move between the legs, set it across and couldn't get it to Nooner. Allstat trying to go the other way with it now for KPC, taken away from him by Evans. Here comes Evans on the backhand. Evans, far circle, nice move. Evans in front, Henry, shot blocked. Great job though by Jake Evans to even get that pass to Henry as time expires in the second period. And now a little bit of extracurricular activity taking place right in front of the stands here. Ryan Schwartz involved. I believe that was Tizzano. And the frustration is understandable for KPC. They have find themselves down by 6 to St. Anthony, who have been in the driver's seat and have all intentions of keeping that gas on the pedal. 8-2 after the end of 2. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. And we shall return with the third period in just a moment, right here on LI Sports Network. Both teams out of the break relatively quickly there, as we're set up. Third period action. St. A's KPC. McCauley a shot. They're offsides. It will not count even if it had gone in. A2 Friars, great individual nights for Jake Evans. 2 goals from Reggie Henry. Goal and assist for Aiden Kalmar. Though I believe he should have 2 goals. I think they got one wrong. They credit it to Menino, 48. Wonder if they'll go back and fix that. Here's Allstat. He's in, and Allstat denied by Bonawant. Great save made by the Friar netminder, denying the leading scorer for KPC. Now here's Menino. He tumbles down. It's Ivizaj. He scores. 9-2 Friars. Ivizaj cleans up after the disturbance in front of Schwartz to give the Friars a 7-goal edge. They lead it 9-2. Ivizaj from Kalmar. And for Landon Ivizaj, his second of the season. As Aiden Kalmar continues to add to his team lead in points, it's Skinner. Colin Skinner. Back to Waterman. Up top, takes the shot, save made. Bonawant rebound. Bonawant's got that too, as KPC look for a response. However, all signs seemingly indicate that the Friars are in full control here. Ensuing puck drop, handled by St. Anthony. Nooner for Cetera. Knocked off his stick by Trainer. Trainer bumps, pardon me, that's Hoffman, into the boards. And McCauley hands back to Evans, who goes right back to McCauley, and now back for Evans. Evans ahead to Nooner. Nooner in stride to Evans. Evans, drop pass. Hoffman toward Schwartz, and Schwartz will cover it. .54 left here in the third period of regulation. On for Striga. KPC have not allowed more than 7 goals in a game this season. They allowed 7 to Southampton in a 13-7 win back on September 27th. It was a wild game. Allstat takes it away. So this is the most goals they've allowed since then and all year. I think it's easy to. A nice move by Nooner across for the goal, scored by Hoffman. Lucas Hoffman, his first of the year, and a big celebration from the entire Friar team because it is his first goal of the season. And clearly a glue guy, a locker room guy, Lucas Hoffman. As Solis tries to add to it as we're in running Clockville. And a save made by Schwartz, and now KPC and Nooner getting into it a little bit in front of the net. And you know, you always want to stick up for the goaltender. It's something you see in the sport of hockey at any level. As we've got a bouncing ball on the ice, Paul. A bouncing ball, Paul. Paul. All right, the ball's gone. It was by the blue line. On across for Kalmar. Here's a chance for Skinner. It splits the D. Skinner denied by Bonawant. Rebound. Fanned on his. Trying to get a little backhand on it was Skinner. And sent the length of the ice by the Friars. It's Friday night at the rinks as Paul takes a peek at what's going on the south rink. They got the music, they got the lights. The people have come out. Yes, they have. So have the Friars. They've come out and dominated here tonight as they lead by 8. And if the score remains the same, it would be their largest margin of victory on the season as well for the Friars, as they have tied their season high in goals in 10 that they scored against Middle Country. That 6-goal win also their largest. It's 8 right now. Galloway, as that, I feel the bass from the south rink. You're on the, or that could be in the locker room, actually. I assume that is actually the locker room of the teams who are on deck here tonight at the rinks. That would be Sachem and West Islip JV. Sachem 3-5, West Islip 4-4. Should be a good one. So if watching the Suffolk County High School Hockey League, if that's your thing, stay with us. Should have a good one on deck there at the JV level. And then capping it off tonight, Pat Med and Middle Country, a varsity level matchup between two teams that are looking to get back into the playoff race. Middle Country coming off a 3-3 tie against the St. Anthony Friars varsity team in one of the more surprising results of the year. Borison centers, knocked away by Cohen, and ahead for Rescue. A little flip on goal to Bonawant. who does not want any more of that, decides to cover up. Nooner got the assist, by the way, on the Kalmar goal, the Hoffman goal. So Nooner, a goal and 2 assists here tonight. Here is Hoffman. Not quite out of the zone. He gives it another stab. Nooner there, Hoffman as well. And Reggie Henry. And it is Henry that prevails with the puck. Gets it ahead to Nooner. Nooner along the ice, the shot. Sticked into the corner by Joey Schwartz. Oh, I thought played valiantly here tonight. As Henry. Far boards. Flip to the line. Rescue and Solis come together. Here's Carbit. Carbit trying to bank ahead and taken away by Tizzano. Tizzano circling and spinning away out of trouble in the near corner. Now far corner. Hoffman springs forward. Henry 2-on-2 over the blue. Now it's a 3-on-2 with Solis. Nooner to Henry. And opposite corner. Here come KPC and Picard. Shot it wide. Yeah, I just checked. So again, if you wanted to check out the latest podcast, the Rinks and Realities podcast, right here on LI Sports Network, hosted by my 2 buddies, Paul Trentini, who's on the cam here tonight, and Travis Quigley, as there's another goal. That one scored by Galloway. At least I think it was Galloway. Looked like Galloway. 46. Could be 48. Could be Menino. Ah, it was Menino. So Menino the goal. 11-2 Friars. They now have the most goals they've scored in a game here tonight. So Rinks and Realities, though, as I was saying, they credited it to Galloway. Maybe it was Galloway. See, I thought it was 48. Menino, who was credited for the Kalmar goal earlier. Anyway, Rinks and Realities, a special guest is Jake Temkin. Jake, the former Farmingdale Ram goaltender. Paul said it was one of the funniest podcasts they have yet to record so far. And while you're there, you can check out plenty of episodes. Episode 4 with Brandon Avazov, current member of Columbia University Hockey and dominator of ACHA, M2, M3, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he is unbelievable and even better off the ice. So I highly recommend that listen. As a glove save made by Schwartz. Episode 6, if you're an Islanders fan, featured Islanders beat reporter Stefan Rosner. And he was a member of the New York Islanders High School Hockey League, which has just gotten underway, featuring Nassau County high school teams. Played goal for them and then played goal for Cortland's roller team. Big roller hockey guy, Stefan Rosner. Nooner to Henry. Final 2 minutes, 38 seconds of this one. McCauley to Roush. Roush down low. Nooner. Friars playing keep away. Up by plenty. Nooner. Once more, it is Roush. Now Nooner behind the net. And KPC. I mean, this is something. The way they're just working around the zone. St. Anthony, that is, with KPC just not much to do but glide around and watch. Puck is somewhere in between the skates there of Joseph Schwartz. Get a stoppage. Final 90 seconds. Rink South Rink is still popping. North Rink. First game of the night. I mean, what a performance from St. Anthony. 11-2. Again, the most goals they've scored in a game this season. Their largest margin of victory, if it remains as well. KPC would have to score, I think, 4 goals in the next minute and 3 seconds to prevent that from happening. And frankly, I don't see it happening. A shocker indeed. Is Bakar trying to get a play on it. Cannot. Try to work it across to Hoffman again. Hoffman scored his first goal of the season earlier in the period. Rescue hits the red line and sends in. Final 40 seconds. KPC would like to end on a good note, something to build on. Allstat trying to make that happen. Allstat not giving up. Takes it away. Allstat toes the line, walks in, tries to create space, and eventually gets shoved down by Tizano. And now Tizano and Allstat with a bit of a little bumping match in the corner there. And they're going to end the game. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I credit Allstat putting his heart out there despite the score. Leading goal scorer and point getter for KPC, but nothing to do about the result of the game. That's all but been decided really since the first period when the Friars led 6-1. 11-2 is your final here tonight on the North Rink to get us started on this 3-game set. Friars improved to 4-1-2. KPC dropped to 3-3-1. So as a result in the standings, the Friars temporarily leapfrog East Islip for second place now with 10 points, but with 2 games up on EI. So EI had 2 games in hand, only 5 played thus far. And as for KPC, they remain for the time being in 5th place. But any type of point from ESM in their next game out, they could leapfrog the Knights. And that'll do it for our coverage here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Bradigan, Paul Trentini saying so long from North Rink. And coming up right next, we've got West Islip and Sachem JV. So if you like the sound of my voice, stick around for that one. LI Sports Network. So once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And as always, till next time, have a good night.